Hello everyone, this is Big Boss Calvin 83. Today I want to talk about this subject. I'm going to talk about basically society and feminists shaming men into being in committed relationships or marriage. That's what we're going to talk about. And my message goes out to women especially. Stop shaming men into committed relationships or stop shaming men into marrying you when they don't want to fucking do it in the fucking first place. It's our choice too. Even though women are the choosers, they choose the guy, they choose the man they want to have sex with, they choose the man they want to fucking date, they even choose the man they want to fucking marry. They have all the say so and choice. Everything comes down to a woman's final decision. The woman has the final decision whether she wants to be with a man. She wants to be with a particular man or does not want to be with a particular man. She has the final say so. And without her consent, you can't do anything as a man, because if you do go against, it's basically her consent. The woman has the final decision whether she wants to be with a particular guy or not. And if you don't honor that consent, if you go against what she consents, if she doesn't consent to being with you and you go against it as a man, you're going to get slapped with sexual harassment. You're going to get slapped with rape, stalking, you name it. Because the woman is the chooser. She chooses the man that she wants to go out with, on a date with. She chooses whether she wants to be, you as a man, your girlfriend or not. She gets to choose her boyfriend. You don't get to choose your girlfriend. The women can only choose the men that they like. The man cannot choose the woman he likes. You follow what I'm saying? Let me adjust this. So, what it comes down to, the woman has the final say so. She has all the say so and all the pick. She gets to do whatever the fuck she wants to do. And it's not just by nature, but society, in Western society, women have a lot of power when it comes to the dating scene. Or it's just, when it comes to picking a mate, the woman has the majority say so of what she wants to be with, what kind of man she wants to be with, what she wants to do with this particular man. And she has the power and the right to choose whether she wants to commit to this particular man, or she gets a choice of whether she wants to actually chooses to be this man's wife, to get married by this man. Us men don't have that option. So to you women and society and feminists, instead of getting mad at the men because they don't want to get married to you, you should be mad at yourselves as women and feminists, female or male. There's a variety of reasons why most men in my generation and the upcoming generation do not want to get married to women in this society, Western society. There's so many reasons why. And if a man tells these reasons, you question his manhood. Or you label him or judge him as being immature. Or you tell him to man up. Or you question his sexuality. Or you just judge him as being gay. That's what y'all do. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. If it doesn't apply, don't reply. But if you get offended by me saying this, then I'm talking to you. Believe it or not, there are men who do want to have a committed relationship with a woman. There are men who want to get married to women. I'm speaking, this is a heterosexual topic here. This is for heterosexuals only. To all you gays and lesbians, this don't apply to you. I can't speak for your issues, but I'm a heterosexual man, so I know what I'm talking about here. So this applies to heterosexual people only, male or female. Before I even talk about why men don't want to get married and why so many men are going, aka MGTOW, the reason why you got so many men's rights activists who are against marriage, and you can even throw in people in the True Force Loneliness community. First off, let's do this like here. Let's do this. Let's talk about the men who do want to get married. The problem is, this is where women fuck up. A lot of you women, this is where y'all fuck up at. The problem is, you got a lot of men who actually want to be your husband. To you women out there, there's a lot of men out here who actually want to have a family, want to get married, and have children. But you women have destroyed these men's dreams. You destroyed my dream. Because, because before I came awake, and even I'm still awake to what's going on, I still eventually want to get to, sometimes I think about, I want to get married, but I don't want to get married to a woman in this country, but to a woman in a different country. There are so many men who want to actually get married and have a wife and kids and a family. But you women took away that dream. You know why? You know what you did? Most of you women are chasing 20% of the men. So basically 80% of the men are suffering from loneliness. You force these guys to be alone. You force these guys to live true force loneliness. You deny these guys a life because of your fucking bullshit high expectations list. Unrealistic expectations. Well, from going by the main thing, the main points are looks, stats, fame, money. You judge men based off those. You judge many men by those four things. And if a man does not fit society's image, you label him as undesirable and don't give him the time of day. And a lot of you women don't give men the time of day. A lot of you women want a man to approach. You want a man to approach you, but you don't want to approach a man due to your own selfish reasons and your fucking selfish ass ego, because of the fact that you're afraid of getting your feelings hurt. Because a lot of you women cannot handle rejection. Y'all like to dish it, but you fucking can't take it. Y'all love to reject men and actually go out your way to humiliate and embarrass a guy and hurt his feelings on the spot, and you get a big old fucking power trip doing that. But you don't want that done to you. And that's why some of you women, I should say most of you women, don't approach men. Because it's too much work for y'all. It's too much work, and having the courage to talk to a man that you're interested in, you're afraid he's not going to feel the same way. I don't know why you would think that, but you're afraid of getting rejected and then being embarrassed, humiliated, have a man make a rude comment, be rude, disrespectful, condescending, conceited, narcissistic, and obnoxious, disrespectful and mean. That's what you're afraid of. That's what many of you women are afraid to encounter. A lot of you women don't approach men. That's your problem. And don't give me that bullshit that you don't want to be fucking aggressive. That's bullshit, and you know it, because you're fucking aggressive as hell when you want to know how many women was this particular guy with? How many girlfriends did this guy have before meeting you? Or how many women did he have sex with before meeting you? Or if he didn't have any sex partners, or he's just, he never had a girlfriend, or he never had sexual relationships with multiple women, if you label him as inexperienced and you deny him a life and you force him to be alone because of the fact that because he has no value because he hasn't had a lot of pussy in his life, which is fucking bullshit. Just because, I mean, the thing is, the reason why this particular man never had a girlfriend or never had any play with women, because women like you denied him a life. And then you talk about, and then you shame men for having a negative attitude, or why you're so negative. You're not going to get a woman with this attitude, and it's about your aura, and all that other bullshit, when the fact is you gave this particular man this fucking attitude. The reason why he has a negative perception, the reason why he comes across as a woman hater, a misogynist, is because you women created that in its reality. You women gave this man an attitude. You created this guy to become a fucking misogynist, a woman hater. You made this man bitter and angry and upset and hurt. You caused this pain and suffering. That's why true forced loneliness exists. It's forced. When we say true forced loneliness, that means the reality is true and it's forced. It's like a man did not want to be lonely for most of his life. He did not want to be single for most of his life. You understand what I'm saying? So you did the damage, and you don't want to take no responsibility for it. It may have not been you. It may not have been you specifically, but other women has destroyed this man's life and denied him a life because over some superficial bullshit, because he didn't fit the image of that fantasy image of a man that you had in your minds, in your dreams. So, but to go back on subject, well, actually that was the subject. But I mean, you women don't approach men, and you're afraid to approach men for whatever, and you're afraid to admit your agenda of what you want out of a man because you think that's too aggressive. But you're aggressive as hell when you want to know a man's dating history, or how much pussy he had, or if he didn't have pussy or not. That's what you'll want to know. You're aggressive as hell when you want to know what kind of car he drives, or whether he has a car or not. You are fucking aggressive. When you're aggressive as hell, when you want to know how much money he makes a year, and how much money does he have in the bank, or his living situation. You are fucking aggressive as hell when it comes to demanding shit from a man. You are aggressive. So don't give me that fucking bullshit about, well, I don't want to be aggressive, when you are fucking aggressive. But you don't want to be aggressive to introduce yourself and say, hi, my name is such and such. How are you doing? How's your day? I noticed you from blah, blah, blah. And I'm really interested in you, and I want to get to know you. What do you want to meet? Y'all afraid to even ask a guy out, basically. I don't know why you're so damn afraid. You're afraid of getting your feelings hurt? You're afraid of getting told no? And a lot of women go crazy when they get told no because they don't know how to fucking handle it. But I'm gonna tell you ladies the truth. You're not gonna get. You rarely are gonna get a no from. You're not gonna get a no from a man like that. If you went up to a man and said, "I want to have sex with you," he would be glad to have sex with you. He probably would not say no. But some men, it depends, will probably mind. If you ask a man if you went up to a guy and asked, "Do you want to have sex with me?" He'll probably look at you crazy and stuff like that. But that's rare. It really depends on the man. But like I said before, the reason why most of you women are having a hard time finding a man to be in a committed relationship is because y'all don't want to put in the work. That's the problem. And you're afraid of being a fucking aggressive, but you're aggressive when it comes to finding out what kind of man he is and all that shit, or how much money he has, and what materialistic items he has. You are fucking aggressive as hell. Or what kind of women has he been with, you or not, or if he had a woman in his life or not. You are fucking aggressive, but you don't want to be aggressive when it comes to saying, "Hi, how are you?" There's nothing wrong with being aggressive. Be aggressive. If you're gonna be aggressive in one area or a couple areas in finding out the kind of guy you're dealing with, you might as well be aggressive and introduce yourself and say hi. But you women demand a lot of shit from a man, but a man can't demand shit from you, which is a double standard and it's bullshit. Let's talk about another double standard. It's like when a woman does not want to be committed in a relationship, she does not want a committed relationship, nor does she want to get married, nobody questions her maturity. Nobody questions her womanhood, and nobody accuses her of being bitter, and nobody questions her sexuality or call her lesbian. You see that, the double standards in that? But what's celebrated is, yeah, you're a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. And you go, girl. It's like it's celebrated and praised. That is a double standard. But if a man does not want to deal with a westernized, or should I say a Western modern woman, is that his manhood is questioned, his maturity is in question, and his sexuality is in question, or he's bitter, or he's just gay. That is a double standard. That's the bullshit I'm talking about. Another problem is that many of you women turn down too many men. You stereotype a man out from 1 to 5 seconds. Before you don't get to know him, you go by lust. I'm not saying men don't do the same thing, but a lot of you women do this. You go by looks. You go by status. You go by fame, and you go by money. You judge a guy too quick. That's your problem right there. And you wonder why when you women get older, and then you have a hard time finding a man to be in a serious relationship and even getting married. That's your problem right there. You're too picky. You're so picky, but you still pick the wrong type of man to be with. You're still unhappy. You still choose the wrong guy. Which I'm like, what? That's your problem right there. So that is your fault, women, because you chase 20% of the men. You reject a lot of guys, and there's a lot of guys you that you choose not to approach or talk to. You don't try to introduce yourself to many types of men. You're very closed-minded. You're very narrow-minded when it comes to your choices in men, or dealing with men. Period. You're very narrow-minded and closed-minded because you're too fucking picky. So you turn down a lot of guys, and not only that, you don't approach men at all. You only deal with the men who will come up to you. And you're so materialistic and so shallow and so selfish. That's why you cannot find a man who's compatible with you. That's the reason why you have a hard time getting a man, or should I say, finding a man to be the love of your life, to be in a serious relationship with. And here's the big reason. The reason why a lot of men don't want to fucking marry your asses is because of the fact that the court systems are on your side. Law enforcement is on your side. A lot of men know if they get involved with a woman, especially marry a woman, they got a lot to lose. That excuse me for a second. You don't just hurt men financially. Don't get it twisted. You hurt men emotionally and spiritually because the fact that you couldn't have your way, and you got with this particular man, and then he could not give you what you wanted. Now you want to divorce him, and then you got the nerve to talk about you're strong and independent, but you want to get fucking alimony. You divorce a man, you divorce this particular man, and if you have kids by this particular man, you take his children away, and you demand alimony and child support. And then you ruin this guy's life. Child support, you got a lot of men in jail because they're unable to pay child support, or they lost their job because of the fact that they got divorced, and they had an ugly divorce. Now, society sees this man as a liability and a risk, and they don't want to take a chance. And plus, you fucked up his credit when you married this particular guy. You fucked up. You destroyed his life. Now he got to start all over again. And because my parents are divorced, my dad told me everything about what my mom did to him. I'm not gonna go into it, but the divorce was ugly. Then you got being taken to court for alimony, and then child support, and then not able to see his kids. Men don't want to go through that, so that's why a lot of men in my generation, the millennials, 80s babies, 90s babies, even the 2000 children who are on the come up and becoming adults, don't want to fucking marry. The men don't want to get married to y'all because of shit like this. A man has a lot to lose when it comes to a fucking breakup. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with a man being immature and all that shit. And you want to start this women mature quicker than men bullshit, which is a fucking lying bullshit. Because there's a lot of, because a man does not want to commit to you, don't try to say he's immature. I hate that fucking, that's a fucking insult. Don't accuse him of being gay. Don't question his sexuality. Don't do none of that shit. Or don't say, and another thing, one thing a man hates, and I speak for most men, we hate the term man up. Why do we gotta man up to fucking be in a committed relationship with a woman that we don't fucking want? We got all these disadvantages and all these problems if you do get married, get in a serious relationship with a woman. If you do marry a woman, you're taking a risk. And guess what? You don't have to. You as a man don't have to be fucking rich to encounter a gold digger. Women. If a woman will take advantage of you, even if you're a regular guy. You don't have to be rich to encounter a fucking gold digger, because there's many gold diggers who come after regular guys, and they do that by using sex as a form of manipulation to spend money on them. It doesn't just happen to rich guys. It actually happens to regular guys too. So let's not get that twisted. The reason why a lot of men don't want to fucking marry you women is because of the fact that you're not women. You're not ladies. You're sluts. You're gold diggers. You're whores. I mean, a man doesn't want a woman who's been around the block. And every man fucked her. A man doesn't want to know that when it comes to your history, a man doesn't want a woman who's fucked too many guys. A man wants a woman who's close to being a fucking virgin. You can say that's a double standard and that's unfair. How come a man can sleep with a bunch of women and all that shit? It's let me just say that life's not fair. Okay? When a woman sleeps with too many men, your vagina and the walls cave in. Your pussy is loose. And then you got a lot of hormonal dysfunctions, and then you're psychologically fucked up because you've been with too many men. You went from guy to guy to guy, and it's unnatural for a woman to have so many sex partners. So that's the reason why it's frowned upon. But then y'all gonna say, well, a man can sleep with a bunch of women. How come he's not called a whore and a slut? The reason why a man can sleep with a bunch of women is because you same women, allow him to sleep with you. You allow this particular man to fuck you. So it's not an accomplishment for a woman to sleep with a bunch of men, because she has all the choice and all the say so. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the woman has to consent to having sex or be in a relationship with a particular man. She can either say yes or no. If the woman says no, and if the man goes against the no, he gets charged with stalking, he gets charged with sexual harassment, he gets charged with rape. Like I said before, women are the choosers. A lot of you women know this man has been with a bunch of women, or been with another woman, but you want to fuck this guy, and you think because I don't know where you got this mindset that, oh, if I can use my pussy to control a man. Let me tell you something. You're not gonna a real man. You cannot control a real man with pussy. You can control a white knight, a simp, a pussy beggar, a man who's fucking pussy whipped. You can control those motherfuckers, but you cannot control a real man with sex. You know how you get a man to you know what? Do you really want to know how to influence a man? You use your brain. That's it. I mean, see, a lot of you women out there, y'all need to stop trying to use sex as a fucking weapon and as a form of manipulation and control. That's where y'all fuck up at. If you just think if you can hook him with your pussy, you're gonna be disappointed because you cannot manipulate a real man with sex, and especially if you deny this man sex. I mean, not just you, but your other women have denied this man sex for a long period of time, and you force this particular guy to be lonely. If you if you try to use sex as a fucking form of manipulation, it's gonna backfire on you because he's gotten immune to it. But like I said, the only way a man can sleep with a bunch of women if a bunch of women allow this man to sleep with them. And a lot of women can tell. And then you got so many women who can tell if this man's in a relationship with a woman or not. And a lot of you women find that attractive if this man is in a relationship with a woman, or he's fucking this particular woman. Then you want to fuck him, and that's how a man can fuck a bunch of women, because you allow him to do it. If you did not allow a man to be promiscuous, if you said and put your foot down and said, "Hey, I don't talk to men who are promiscuous," a man will fucking stop. He'll cut the bullshit. That's real talk. What else do I want to say? So basically, the problem with the point of this video is you women need to stop shaming men into marrying you. When the fact of the matter is, what do you bring to the table? What do you have to offer him? And don't give me pussy, love, and sex, and support, and children, because you benefit from those things. I mean, those things are mutual, but primarily the woman benefits from those things. All she got to do is give love and support, but nothing tangible, nothing physical. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, sex? I mean, that's a mutual thing. But some women actually enjoy sex more than men. And kids, the woman has the right to either have a child or not. So basically, everything's in favor for you. I mean, a lot of you women know that y'all have a lot of power. But the reason why you don't want to admit that, because if women actually admitted that they have a lot of power, when it comes to dealing with a man, that y'all have a lot more power than what you give yourself credit for. You women have a lot more power than you think. If a lot of women actually admitted that they're the fucking choosers and have a lot of power to influence a man to do great things, they will have to take personal responsibility. But a lot of women do not want to take personal responsibilities because of the fact that if society will look at them, hey, if you're fucking a man who you know is no good, and you know you have the power to choose a good man or a bad man, or make a man become good or bad, you would have to take personal responsibility. But a lot of women do not want to take personal responsibility for their choices in men, because society will look down upon them, and women cannot handle being shamed. They don't like being judged, even though they like to judge others, but women do not like being judged. So a lot of you women have a lot of power, especially in the dating scene. But the thing is, when it comes to choosing a mate, you have the power to influence this guy to be good or bad. But a lot of you women don't want to. A lot of you women are in denial, and the reason why you choose to be in denial is because of the fact that you will have to be accountable for what the shit that you do. But the thing is, a lot of men are awake to what's going on. A lot of men are aware and awake that a lot of you women have more rights, you have more privileges, and you have a lot more power than what you think you have. And the thing is, you don't want to acknowledge this is because of the fact that, guess what? You have to take personal responsibility for the choices that you make, and personal responsibilities for the way you conduct yourself. And you can make no more excuses. And a lot of you women, you like to hide behind the fact that you're emotional. But before I go in any further, I'm gonna speak more about women being emotional and men being logical, and how that's more social conditioning. But that's another video. But a lot of you women like to claim that you're emotional. But the thing is, most of the time, you were taught to be emotional. By nature, you are emotional. But guess what? Men are emotional too. But the thing is, the reason why a lot of women like to hide behind the fact that, oh, we're emotional, oh, we're it's about our feelings, is because of the fact that if they actually admitted that they are aware of what they're doing, because women use logic when it comes to doing calculated things, taking calculated risk, or doing something spiteful, mean, and vindictive. If a woman actually was admitted that she already excuse me, I'm sorry. If a woman actually admitted that, hey, I'm logical, but when it comes to doing dirt, she would have to face the consequences and repercussions as a man is, because men are looked at as logical creatures. That's why we don't get no sympathy. That's why the law comes down hard on us, harder than y'all. But the thing is, y'all can fall back and say, I'm emotional and my hormones and all that shit. I'm on my period. You use those things to get out of responsibility. But a lot of you women are not as emotional as y'all like to claim to be. Because if you actually were emotional, you would have more compassion. You will be a lot more sensitive to a man's feelings. But you're not. The only reason why you hide behind your emotions is because of the fact that you want to avoid responsibility. You want to do whatever the fuck you want to do without critical thinking. Because if you're caught doing something you know you shouldn't be doing, then you be held accountable for what you did. The point of this video is that you women want to you can't shame a man to do something he don't want to do. If a man does not want to be in a committed, serious relationship with you, you got to find out why. And if he's telling you why, and he's telling you that the issues that he faces as a man and his plight, you got to understand and respect that. But a lot of you women want to say man up, or you're immature because you want to shame a man to being with you, or shame a man to doing something he doesn't really want to do because he knows there's no benefit. The reason why a lot of men don't want to fucking get married is because of the fact that there's no benefit, because men have a lot to lose. Women have a lot to gain. Until you women actually admit this and accept this fact and do something about it, hey, you need to change these, you got to get rid of no-fault divorce. You got to do something about these child support laws. And you got to do something about these anti-male laws. Until you women actually get together and start checking these women who make it hard for you, you're gonna have the wall of silence. Men and women are gonna be divided. So like I said before, you have men who actually want to get married and actually want to have a wife and kids and have a family, but you deny 80% of men these opportunities. A lot of you women chase 20% of the men, and you deny 80% of the men an opportunity to be with you and actually marry you and have kids with you. But you women are too fucking picky. You women have a false sense of entitlement. And that's until you accept this fact, you will forever be lonely and be bitter, and you'll be stuck with a bunch of cats. So, in closing, is that many of you women got to understand that marriage, men have faced a huge disadvantage of getting married. Even being in a committed relationship. Men do not want drama. We don't want stress. We don't want aggravation. We don't want to fight. We have to fight the world every day. We don't want to fight a woman that we have to come home to. And then you got kids. And then you got a whole shitload of manipulation going on. So the problem is that these anti-male laws and feminism destroyed marriage, destroyed chivalry. And the thing is, a lot of feminists like to shame men into, why are you not married? And you should get married. But a lot of you feminists are against marriage. A lot of you women, especially feminists, female or male, are against marriage. You're against family. Feminism was brought into the picture to destroy family, to destroy marriage between a man and a woman. That's why we're so divided, and that's why you got a lot of single parent family homes, because of feminism. The reason why the reason why you have a lot of men who don't want to fucking marry you, because a lot of you women are whores, sluts, dishonest, liars, evil beings. A lot of you women are fucking evil. And a lot of you women have a feminist mindset. And feminism, and the two women who support feminism, guess what? That's why you are alone. That's why you're lonely. Because of the fact that feminism is anti-family. Feminism hates marriage. Feminism, like I said before, hates family and hates unity. The purpose of marriage is for men and women to come together and form life and form a unity. That's the reason why men are not opting. That's the reason why men are not getting married today. Because of shit like this. Until you women actually acknowledge this fact and help men and do something to change this problem, we'll forever be divided. The choice is yours. Either to you women out there, either you change it, either you change the laws, either y'all get rid of this feminist mindset and get rid of feminism. You will be alone forever. And that's all I gotta say. I'm out. Peace.